For over a decade, in fact since its reveal in 2012, Imperium Games has been unwavering in its message. Star Citizen and Squadron 42 are games exclusively built for the PC platform. From Chris Roberts' earliest interviews to countless community updates, the rationale has always been the same. Only the PC offers the raw power and flexibility needed to realize the unprecedented scope and fidelity these games demand. This PC-first philosophy has become a cornerstone of CIG's identity, distinguishing it from other AAA developers beholden to console limitations. But a recent job posting may hint at a quiet shift behind the scenes. In a listing for cinematic animators here, Imperium Games specifically asks for professional experience in game animation development, ideally on current/next-gen consoles. For a studio that has never expressed any intention of targeting consoles, this wording is not only surprising, it's potentially revealing. It raises the question, is Squadron 42 being prepared for a broader release than we've been led to believe? Or is this simply a hiring tactic meant to expand the talent pool? Whatever the case is, the subtle line stands in direct contradiction to CIG's long-standing position, and it may be the first tangible sign of a change in direction. One of the most striking and easily overlooked details in the job listing for cinematics animators at Imperium Games is the requirement for professional experience in game animation development, ideally, as I said earlier, for current and next-gen consoles. This is a highly unusual request given that both Star Citizen and Squadron 42 have, since their inception, been repeatedly and explicitly marketed as PC-exclusive titles. Chris Roberts himself has emphasized over the years that the vision for Star Citizen would be impossible to achieve within the limitation of console hardware. The very identity of the project has been built on the premise that the PC platform is the only environment powerful and flexible enough to support the ambitions behind these games. This requirement for console experience introduces a serious inconsistency in Imperium Games' public messaging. The inclusion of console development experience in the hiring ad implies that the studio may be quietly preparing for a console version of at least Squadron 42. With the single-player campaign being a much more contained and structured experience compared to the sprawling interconnected systems of the Star Citizen persistent universe, it's conceivable that a port to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X is not only possible, but actively being explored or even developed behind the scenes. After all, the latest generation of consoles has tightened the gap with high-end PCs to a level where a game like Squadron 42, especially if optimized and slightly trimmed, could theoretically run well, especially without the server-side complexity that defines Star Citizen. Even if a console release isn't currently officially planned, the language of the job listing could suggest that CIG is future-proofing its tech stack. Hiring animators with console experience may allow them to build animation systems that scale across platforms or can easily be optimized for a wider range of hardware configuration. This would be a smart strategic move if the studio wants to keep its options open. After all, Squadron 42 represents a major commercial opportunity, and releasing it on consoles would dramatically increase its potential player base and revenue, especially if the game is finally nearing completion and CIG want to recoup a significant portion of its development costs, which have risen exponentially as of late, as the latest financial reports seem to show. With a loss of $20 million in 2023 and revenue actually decreasing in 2024, it's likely that CIG has lost money again on that year and has probably taken loans to stay afloat, giving the commercial success of Squadron 42 as a guarantee and aiming for a console launch, which could be a way to achieve these eventual financial goals. Alternatively, this could be a subtle way to attract talent from other major studios, many of which are focused primarily on console development. In that case, the line might not reflect any concrete plans to port the game to consoles, but rather a practical way to broaden the hiring pool. However, even if that's the case, the mere presence of console-oriented language in the job ad tied to Squadron 42 remains significant. It creates confusion about CIG's long-standing position and raises questions about internal shifts in priorities or planning that have not yet been communicated to the community. This quiet contradiction should not be dismissed. The consistency with which CIG has declared their PC-only focus makes any deviation from that message noteworthy, especially when it appears in something as deliberate as a job posting. Whether it indicates a potential console release, a shift in technology strategy, or simply a broader hiring approach, this detail opens the door to speculation, and it suggests that we may not know the full story behind Squadron 42's future platform ambitions. If this line of job ad truly reflects a behind-the-scenes shift, then we may be on the cusp of a major revolution in how Squadron 42 is being positioned. A potential console release would mark a dramatic departure from the studio's original philosophy and raise fresh questions about how far Clan Imperium Games is willing to go to ensure commercial success. Whether it's future-proofing, hedging bets, or quietly laying the groundwork for a broader release, something is clearly in motion, and it's something the community deserves to keep an eye on. Anyway, that is all for today's video. If you found this insight valuable, well, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you think I deserve it and you want to see more Star Citizen content. Also, don't forget to leave a comment below on what you think about these developments. Do you think CIG should release these games on consoles or not, or stick to the PC-only philosophy? Let me know what you guys think about this. Don't forget, I'm giving away a Misc Fortune to one of the lucky subscribers or Patreon members. Comment and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment to any videos posted this month, and 10 entries will be added into the Wheel of Names. Automatic entries from Patreon and YouTube members. A big shout out as always to Dr. Frobin, Tokar Tarcisius, Shadow Rise, Donkey to Docker, and Zero Crusher. I've been Iran. I'll see you guys in the next one.